Greetings, everyone. How is everyone doing today? We are actually on our third day here talking about the TimeBlazr way of goal setting. So, what I thought would be a good way to get you prepped for a webinar, a free webinar I'm having on the 15th, is to get you really primed and ready to take some action with the TimeBlazr. And the TimeBlazr is my proprietary calendar that is based on your personal birth information. So it is your birth chart that is aligned with the calendar. So it's a very unique way. This has been a system that's been around for literally thousands of years to help take the right action at the right time. So for those of you who are new to me, my name is Kathleen Horvath. I am a business feng shui master, astrologer, and the creator of the TimeBlazr. So, really when you use all of these together, it's a very unique way of doing work. But you know what? With some really good efforts, the calendar in and itself is such an empowering tool. So what I have done is I've designed the calendar to make it super easy for the end user to use. Now, truthfully, if this is something you've never used before, of course, it's going to take a little bit of your time to figure it out. But then there are so many shortcuts. And so I'm going to start going through that with you when we are going through these just little mini setups here for you. Okay. All right. So the first thing though, I really want you to do is go grab your free trial. So we're going to gift you a 30-day full version, the personalized version of the TimeBlazr. So you just need to go to www.free30timetrial.com. There's no credit card required at this time. So we're just going to, keep that going for as long as we can before we'll have to ask for, the free trials. I know some people out there are actually taking charges, but we're going to give it to you for free. All right. So you're going to do that. And let's just talk about some of the things that we are going to be talking about and what we've talked about in the past. So on the first, when I launched this, it was just a real brief, overview of the TimeBlazr. And then yesterday we talked about the year, month, day view. We're going to use it extensively on that free webinar, as well as today we're going to get into the green and white days a little bit more in depth on how you are going to use those. So, and then the rest of the schedule you can see on the screen. All right, so the first thing that I really want to do is go back to that standard view. And remember yesterday when I said all of the TimeBlazers are they have a certain baseline that we start from, and then we build the personalization on top of that. And what that means is there's a lot of formulas in the calendar. There's so much information that's going to be so helpful for you to make your informed decisions. So this is that base view that everyone will see, and then I'll show you when we go on the live software, I can show you the differences between these two. All right, I'm going to talk about a little bit from the day view, and then when we go to the site, I'll look at the month view. All right, the first thing that is standard for everyone is all the information that you're going to see on these two pages. The big difference is one's a green day and one is not a green day. What does that mean? A green day, just think of green means go. And we're going to get into the personalization, and I'll show you why some green days are going to be better for you and others are going to be, well, maybe it would be better to choose an unfavorable day to do some of my important activities, depending on how you're going to be using it. All right, so it's going to tell you, and I'm not going to go into this today, that's later on this week. I'm going to talk about the different types of days, and that is a very key important thing for you to understand, that if you're going to be starting something, you're going to be using a certain time of day. If you're going to be closing something, you're going to be using a different type of day, and etc. So we'll get into that. we need to look at these positive and negative influences. Now, the positive and negative influences are the prevailing energy of your entire day. So we have to actually look at both. I have made them as key words so that if English is your first language, it should be very clear, or, pretty clear on what I'm trying to inform you about. But there is a guidebook that gives you full descriptions if you would like a more in-depth on that. So, but that goes beyond what we're just trying to explain to you today. So anyway, you need to look at that, and then you're going to be looking at, on the standard view, it would be just like anywhere you see a green box in the hours, then that's where you're going to make your best moves, because the energy is more balanced. It's more stable. Once you get into a mixed energy like we have in the 9 to 11 o'clock hour, that is going to indicate that we've got to take a little bit of caution there, because this is going to give us some mixed energy that we need to be aware of. So, for example, if we had chose the let's say 9:30, we decided that we were going to launch something. Maybe it was a program or a product, or maybe you're announcing your book, making a big announcement, right? And this is on a pretty vibrant day, it's already indicating. And I decided to do it at 9:30. Well, if you had just waited maybe another hour or two, you could have gotten into a much more vibrant time slot, which is going to help you energetically launch that in a much better way. But what you absolutely want to avoid is, for example, look at this 3 o'clock hour where we've got lawsuits and it's got a negative. If it's in this kind of raspberry red color and it has a minus sign on it, it's an indication. Even if you don't see the minus sign, you're going to see that, okay, this is where I need to just stop just a little bit and take a pause, right? Okay, so that's one way that we can use but the days. But also, let's just take a look at this unfavorable day. Now, truthfully, the unfavorable days, I try to use them more for, if I'm doing things like just kind of normal day-to-day work tasks. I'm not launching, I'm not speaking with an important client, I'm not making sales calls. But if I have to on this day, what would I like to, what time slots would I be looking at? Well, and we do live, some of us, in that autoresponder world, if you will. So then on the days that are void because it fell below a certain benchmark, it's no longer green, it's going to indicate now that I have to be a little bit more cautious, and that I'm still going to look for the good time slots. So between 5 and 7, there's a good time slot. Very early in the morning, you could send out an autoresponder or an email that you have scheduled out between 3 and 4, that when people check their boxes in the morning, yours will already be there first thing in the morning. So you could use it in that respect, something like that. Now, if you do need to use these, you just need to understand that we might have some instability in the hour. I'm going to go right to the snake hour, and that's between 9 and 11 o'clock. Really what I would do is like, okay, I have this appointment on my schedule. The person that I scheduled with said this is the only time that we can meet. Okay, great. At least we're going to be informed about what is going to potentially happen. And again, this is the standard view. We don't know if this day clashes you or not, but what we're going to see is counterproductive and pettiness. So what does that mean? It means that meeting with this person, there might be some things that could be counterproductive, as in, you are in right when the moment you're ready to close, your prospect or the person you're speaking with gets a phone call and goes, oh, excuse me, I need to step away for a minute, and you get thrown off track. And so try to getting back on track. It's almost counterproductive because you've now lost the flow. Things like that. Or you tend to do things that are counterproductive. There's pettiness. Pettiness is just that you there might be some drama involved in this. There might be a little bit of backstabbing type of language, that kind of thing. Those are the things that the calendar is going to inform you about. Okay, now I also want to talk about a little bit more about these positive and negatives. On a day where it is void of any of these the green, the colors and things like that, we're going to start seeing these positive and negative influences. As I said, just on a green day, they're going to influence the entire day, if you will. But when it's on a day that is void of color, then we're going to start seeing these negative influences pack a punch. And what I mean by that is they become really negative. So, for example, like I said, it overlays over the prevailing energy over the day or influences over the day. So we have to look at, especially this 9 o'clock hour, wow, we've got a lot of things going on here that we need to be aware of. Now, conversely, on the green day, the positives really take on much more potency as well. And then the negatives get diminished. So it is kind of a little subtlety that you need to look at each and every day. The other thing I want to mention is setting your daily intention. I think this is so important to the success of your business. And your life, is to set a daily intention on how you want the day to flow. Maybe what is your most important task of the day, and set an intention that you really are striving to be very mindful about, so you have the end results that you are looking for. All right, now we're going to go over to the TimeBlazr site, and we're going to start just looking here at that month view, if you will. And this is where, we're going to be looking at a couple of days here. Now, again, just going from the month view, that global, like what is happening, in the month. I mentioned this yesterday, and I think it's well worth mentioning again. I always like to tell my clients about a year, mid-month of the current month you're in, always start planning ahead. But until you know the system, we're going to stay in current time. But what I want you to do is go ahead and download that 30 days for yourself. And then what I want you to do, the very first thing I want you to look at is, what are the green days, irregardless of all of the contents that's on the page that you're going to be seeing. Which ones have the most icons and the most stars? So this is where your personalization is going to start coming into play. Now, what I would do is, and we're already here on the 7th, I'm going to be talking about the icons, I believe tomorrow, so we can talk more in depth about that. But what is hard programmed into the calendar, the personalized calendar, are these stars on the green days. And then these activators, again, we'll talk about those on another day as well. So the days are easily clicked into by looking, just choose a random day. So we're here on the 7th. I'm just going to go in there, and you can start seeing the personalization. Now, again, this is intended to be used for your milestone activities, so do not be shocked that we have days like this. But everyone has tasks that need to be done, like content creation. This would be a great day to do some content creation. This would be a great day. It's a receive day. This would be a great day to maybe work on your accounting so you can be sending out your invoicing because that's a receive day, right? And then you just, again, you just want to look at the best time to send out your billing if you want. Now we're going to talk about that little symbol tomorrow. Another way of advancing, you can either go forward or backwards day by day, if you will. Let's just look forward a few days just so you can see how I do my planning as well. Oh, here on the 8th, it's an open day. We do have to watch these positive and negatives, but between 3 and 4, I'm going to start saying how it's probably should be said 4:59, because at the 5 o'clock hour, it actually changes to another 2 hour time slot. And that is, let's just talk about this. Let me finish this conversation. I'll tell you a couple other things. So the 3 to 4:59 time slot, this is where this person is going to have their best opportunity to have the smoothest energy of the day. So this is where I would, spend my time planning out. When I'm planning out the week, I would let these stars help me in my planning. I'm going to do something important during that time because the other times are a bit unstable. So, and then I'm going to go through on the 9th, same thing. This time it's a 1 o'clock. So as you can see, depending on the type of day it is, which it is, it's like a birth chart, if you will. So if a child was born on March the 9th, they would be born on a Yang Fire Tiger day. Let's say they're born in the goat hour. They would be born in the year of the water rabbit, the wood rabbit month, and then the tiger day. So, and how does that match up with you? That's what we need to know. That's what we need to know. All right. So this would be, a day that I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to use this time slot here is the 1 to 2:59. Now the hour box, I'm just going to talk just a second. It is in 2-hour time slots. And the 2-hour time slots are designated by the 12 animals in the zodiac. And therefore, when we're talking about, the dragon hour, for example, we'd be talking about 7 to 8:59 a.m. So you just kind of look at, you don't need to know that. It is more for maybe a little bit more advanced user, for those who really get into the astrological piece. But for you, if you don't want to learn all of the astrologicals, just go by the stars. We made it super easy for you. And then, on Friday, look at here, between 11 and 2:59, there's 4 hours right in a row. Now, there's a famous guy out there that, purports talking about a 4-hour work week. So there you go. You can try to cram it all in. I think that's a little bit unrealistic, but anyway, we could definitely be very efficient in the time that is we're in the flow with. The only thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take off those icons just to clean it up a little bit. Again, I want you to take the step of downloading your TimeBlazr, but what can you do, because your stars are going to be different than this person unless you were born exactly at this time, because your birth information is indicating that it is a personalized calendar on the month view only. And basically it is, then you're going to, now we're at, the 7th. So what do you have left in this month? So the 15th is a great day, 18th, 24th, the 30th, the 27th, and these two, the weekend times if you work over the weekend. So it is about being efficient. It's about paying just a little bit more attention to a calendar that is energetically helping you make those informed decisions. Okay, so just what I did with those days, I used to have a little series called TimeBlazr Tuesday. Who knows? Maybe we'll bring that back. Let me know if you saw the TimeBlazr Tuesday back in the day when I did that, as well as is that something you would be interested in me talking about? The day by day. We've already got up on social media the days ahead, but if you'd like a little more, just let me know. I will be happy to bring that back if enough people are interested. All right. In closing, we are going to wrap up today. Tomorrow, which is day 4, we're going to be talking about those business icons. They're the 10 activities that I felt when I was designing this to give to the programmer, that these activities are something that every business owner in a year's time could potentially be addressing. So we wanted to find the days good for that, for those particular people. Okay, so here's our next step. What I need you to do is to go ahead and sign up for the webinar, and that's the bit.ly/TimeBlazr goals. It's on March the 15th, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern. And so this is where we're going to help you understand how I look at designing your goals from a very unique way. So there's 3 things that I need you to do for getting ready for the webinar and for the rest of the series. It will really help you along the way. So take these 3 empowering steps as soon as you can. Like, why not today, right? Number 1, get your 30-day TimeBlazr trial, and we put the links below in the comments. And then also number 2, I'm going to add a new task for you. Since this is based on your birth chart, you might be well served to understand how the animals in your chart are going to be handled, right? So once you get your TimeBlazr, you will already have your astrology chart. Just click on the astrology button right next to the month view or the strategic dates. And then number 3 is we just need you to sign up for the webinar so I can show you the TimeBlazr way of setting your goals. Okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate you being with me today. I appreciate your following. Please like, share, and comment, and we will see you tomorrow.